Hello and welcome to another episode of Journeys in Fandom podcast.
We're back again, brother.
Dude. And if you hadn't guessed, we are talking wrestling, specifically reviewing WrestleMania nights 1 and 2.
Yes, I thought for the occasion I'd wear a robe. It's very stylish, I thought.
For those of you listening rather than viewing, he's in his Hugh Hefner smoking jacket. Although we can't talk about Hugh Hefner anymore, can we? Because I think he got cancelled after death, didn't he, or something? So I'm sure I read somewhere that he wasn't a very nice man. No surprises, really, but...
Yeah, I can say that's kind of a given, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, anyway, there's an episode. The Life and Times of Hugh Hefner. Maybe not.
I think we could go through that in detail.
Oh God, wasted detail there. Plenty of screen sharing. Anyway, maybe not. Right, we've gone off the tracks already. We're only a minute in. Let's get back on track.
Oh, before we go to the news, I had feedback from our last episode. Yes,
Warhammer.
The feedback was, Matt, you did an episode on Warhammer, and you took over 25 minutes to talk about Warhammer. And I went, yes. That's how I get you.
Yeah, sucks you in, and then you kind of like, ooh.
Yes, about an hour-long episode. It took me 25 minutes to actually utter any word about Warhammer. It was good.
Nice.
I did get shouted at a lot.
So everyone was.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah, you get quite a lot of shouty feedback. I don't get that much shouty feedback. I get constructive criticism, but no shouty feedback.
We move in very different groups, I feel.
Yeah. Well, this one is... Well, no, news first, though, like you say, news first. A couple of things.
Yes.
We've got a trailer to watch. There was another Doctor Who trailer, but hot off the press, they've finally announced, as if we didn't already know, the new companion for Series 2, officially in the news. I totally missed this, and just suddenly went, oh, when did that happen? It creeped out yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
So Varada Sethu, as we've already spoke about her, nothing really much, only that they keep referring to her as the second companion and will be joining Millie Gibson with Shooty for Series 2. Nothing about who she is, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it just slipped out and with no fanfare or anything. So, a bit weird, but there we go.
Is that going to cause more speculation? Because is it a case of they've now just acknowledged that a new companion's appearing and have just slipped a new Dark out to quell people, or not?
Or is something... Well, no, because they normally do stuff, don't they? We talked about this before. They normally put out an article when there's some kind of leak that's obviously going to come from external filming, but that happened ages ago and it's already happened and they didn't do anything. Yeah. So, obviously, we talked about it before again, new ways of working. This is not how it used to be, but normally, you get the shot of the Doctor in costume because you know he's going to be running around a city somewhere in costume, so they get it out early.
Yeah.
The best thing about it was not the picture in the article we've just seen, but this picture really makes me chuckle because it's like, look at the body language on that one. So she's grabbing his arm on one side and she's all in red, just completely dominating the photo. And it's like, it's kind of like a boyfriend with an ex or something really random. I'm sure it's actually natural. But it just looks really kind of like, I'm still important. Look at me all in red. And look at her sat on the end there. It just makes me chuckle. It's such a weird
it's like
photo.
The new glasses. I'm here. I have value. Acknowledge me.
Yeah, it's probably nothing, but it just comes across as a really funny kind of awkward photo of like either a boyfriend and an ex or a boyfriend, girlfriend, and someone who really wants to be with that bloke.
Yeah, and actually, if she wasn't leaning at an angle, there would be a hell of a lot of daylight between them otherwise.
Yes, yeah. And the other one's really clinging onto his arm. So it's a funny photo, but nevertheless. So we've got another trailer. Very similar stuff. Have you seen this one?
I've not.
No, it came out.
I get to see things
2 weeks ago. So again, it slipped out. No fanfare. I think Russell T Davies just said, "Oh, it's coming," and I was like, "Oh right, okay, fair enough." So we'll just hopefully better this. We'll just crack on.
You ready for this?
Give me the loving! Now, stay back. We are going to rock through time.
Oh, this is so Bridgerton.
This is Ruby.
You are wild, brave, and rude. No, you made it worse.
Where shall we go? Anywhere.
It's you.
Space, baby! Oh, is it the universe, man? Let's have a random landing.
Is it safe?
Listen to me. This is what we're trying to stop. All of life extinguished. You keep us safe? I will keep us safe.
Come on. We've got work to do.
There's a storm coming in.
You called.
Honey, I'm much bigger bang than you bargained for.
I will shatter this silly little battlefield into dust. In a heartbeat, into dust.
I don't have a people, I don't have a home, but I have freedom. Catching monsters, getting into scripts. So I keep moving on. To see the next thing, and the next, and the next. Have you ever felt so alive? And that's just the beginning.
There we go.
Ooh, less than a month to go then.
I know. It's more of the same. I don't think we see that much extra. Obviously, I think the Beatles Jinx Monsoon episode is going to be a musical episode, now, obviously. And there's going to be some singing, so that'll get people very angry, no doubt.
Yes, more singing, more singing.
Speaking of getting angry, and I hope they don't do it, but lots of people are hinting and chuntering online that the Bridgerton-esque episode from the past is going to have a reformatted Captain Jack in it with a different actor.
Yes, I saw the article saying they were going to
review
or recast.
Hopefully, it's not going to be. If it is, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. I would generally probably throw my toys out the pram at that point if they do replace him for so many reasons. But we'll see how it goes. But I will be genuinely very angry if they do that.
Yeah, and again, if they do, you would need such a reason, such an airtight alibi, for doing it.
I can't believe they will do it. It's too much of an obvious thing. It's too obvious to do it, but and also my faith in Russell is still quite solid that he wouldn't screw over one of his mates just for ratings. But I don't know. But no, I would generally be annoyed. But hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's a new idea and it's not just a rehash of Time Agent. He could be another Time Agent because we've not seen the Time Agent since Torchwood. So I don't know, but we'll see. But that's it. That's my only. I really hope they get to that point.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So May the 11th. That is less than a month away. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah. Mad.
Right. Let's get down to the meat of the matter, brother.
Yes.
WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40, and they've put the 40 back in it. XL. Brilliant. That's what. So many things are better now without Vince and his cronies, but just having the numbers back in the name is just little things like that is great.
Yeah. And I think actually the fact it was WrestleMania 40 and WrestleMania XL in old Roman numerals, you're going, actually it is XL. It was huge. It was it had an impact, and we were expecting lots from it because it's such a big event. And actually, I think back to the old one-night WrestleManias, and you think, well, how did you fit it all in one night? Yeah,
and it was always a slog. And imagine being sat in an arena for like 8 hours. I think it was they were in there for about 6 as it is per day. But how did they? I can't remember how they squeezed it. Well, to be fair, back in the Attitude Era, late 90s, they just didn't have as many people on the roster. So it was a smaller, condensed thing. But now they try and squeeze every last person into it, don't they, with all these multi-matches. So I'm trying to think. That was one of the good things of COVID, where they moved it and did the 2-night thing after COVID, and it worked really well. So pleased they kept that. And also for us in the UK, it means we get to watch it Sunday morning and then Monday morning, whereas cramming it all into one day.
Yeah. No, it was. I really enjoyed it, and I watched both nights back to back because I've had the week off with flu, so I literally just lay there on Monday dribbling, just going, I can't function. And we're just watching WrestleMania, going, I can do this. This is fine.
No, it's good. I'll go out on a limb and say it's probably the best WrestleManias I've seen for a long time. It was top to bottom, was really enjoyable.
I think you summed this up on the old social media, that you didn't know who was going to win each match as you went into it. It could go either way.
Yeah, there was nothing. None of the matches were really. You could say, "Oh, this is who's going to win." You had doubt in all the important ones, certainly, about how it was all going to play out, and how it all played out was brilliant.
So, have you got a list of the matches of the 2 nights?
So, night 1, we'll go in order.
Yeah,
and we'll just talk long or short, depending on how we feel. So, first match of the night, after the random singer, who every year I go, who is this? Singing the national anthem every time. I know a concept of who the people are, and it's the same every year. I just go, it's like
national anthem. Fast forwards.
It's like the celebrities. I barely, except for Snoop Dogg, didn't know anybody else, but because I'm getting old. Anyway, sorry. Yes, I'm digressing. First match of the night was Rhea Ripley against Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship belt to number 1.
I was torn because I love both of those women so much.
I really like Rhea. I think she's amazing. I think she's possibly, if not one of the best female wrestlers ever. She's just superb. Becky, I used to like, but I've gone a bit sour on her the man gimmick. It's got a bit tired and a bit old. Yeah. I liked it when she was a heel a couple of years ago, and then they kind of got rid of that. So, but no, it was good. I was expecting good things because they're both great in their own right. And again, I just didn't know who's going to win it. Part of me thought, Becky's going to win it, but then she doesn't need it. And Rhea retaining, she just keeps rolling with that belt. And at the moment, I can't see anyone who's going to take it off her anytime soon.
I think that's the thing. If you've got someone who's so dominant in the division, if you are going to drop the belt, it's, again, who do you drop it to?
It's got to be worth it.
Go, well, like you said, Becky doesn't need it. People like Bianca Belair and stuff, they're over enough without it. They don't need that, and they're doing their own thing.
You mentioned Bianca.
Bayley's got her own other things happening, so all of like the big names either don't need it or are doing other things.
You mentioned, I think Bianca is the only one that Rhea has never faced. So even though she doesn't need the belt, you could build that up as a big WrestleMania 41 match. But all the rest of them, there's Jade, but that's going to take a lot of work to get to that stage, I think. So I think she'll keep it for the rest of, certainly for the majority of this calendar year. I can't see her really dropping it to anyone anytime soon. Yeah. It was a good match. It was a good opener.
Yeah, unless they do like a similar angle like they do with Roman and Brock Lesnar and similar, where you just basically have a champion who is so dominant, and then you just find almost a newbie or someone to have a story to end, and you go, there's your mountain, deal with that.
Bringing someone from NXT eventually, that might work actually. Someone fresh out of NXT and do it that way.
Bring what's the name from TNA over?
Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
The one that was in the Rumble. Yes, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's someone completely fresh, completely new, completely different. That might be the way to do it. Also, her entrance was the first time I've seen a band play someone in, like the band who does the song, who actually sound like they do live as they do on the song, because normally it sounds naff. But that guy who actually looked like Rhea Ripley, weirdly. His face was like the same.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a bit weird. Was just like, okay,
Yeah,
fair
because
enough.
they're her favourite band, aren't they?
Yeah, and they obviously do a theme tune. It was like, oh, that's really good. That actually works. So that was the first match. So it was a good opener and a good start. The second match was the completely bonkers 6-pack tag team ladder match for both sets of belts, which eventually got split. I have to admit, this was the one match that I skipped through because I watched bits of it, but I get a bit bored with these kind of spot matches.
Yeah, I watched it, but there was so much going on. You go, right, what is occurring here? And I think any match of R-Truth in it is just hilarious.
It's brilliant. It is really good, especially when he doing the hot tag, and it's like, it's not a tag match.
Yeah, it's just absolutely nuts. I think the various elements involved all just worked. And again, you're just going, well, are they going to make it? Are they going to do it? What's going on?
It's a sad state of affairs when you look at it, and that is the state of the tag team division. But gone are the days when you had like all the massive tag teams like Demolition, Heart Foundation, and all that kind of stuff from the early 90s. And it's like now it's all been kind of decimated. What you're left with is a lot of thrown together teams.
Yeah. I think the problem is now you start as a tag team and then you get split up to do single stuff because you become too popular.
Yeah, Vince McMahon.
Like the Usos and stuff and all those good solid tag teams. Oh no, they're going to have an argument. Oh no, they're split up. Oh no.
Yeah, Vince didn't like tag teams and always wanted to split them up. And so some of the best tag teams they've ever had that came up through like NXT just immediately getting split up. So hopefully Triple H can reset that a little bit and get them on the right path again. Did you see the spot where the ladder was broken and the referee was trying to get Priest to stop walking up it?
Yes.
Because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, why is she just like tapping his ankle? And then I was like, oh, there, the leg's broken.
Yeah, because you can see the ladder like bowing like this. And I was going, oh, Christ. Yeah, my health and safety hat was going, nope.
Yeah, because I don't know if I don't think they are, those ladders. I don't know if they're rigged to break easily, but I think it was just a normal ladder that had just snapped because you think of the weight that's on it.
Yeah, I think there is like some foamy. I think they are special ladders.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, they're not like.
Because you're not going to buy it from your DIY store. Yeah,
it had like red stuff in the core, so I don't know. Yeah, that's just a hole in it.
Yeah, it felt like a foam core to it. So like thin metal with a foam core. Because actually, again, half those things, I keep looking at those moves and going, oh, if you fell wrong, it's one of those things where if you fell wrong and it was a real ladder, you snap something and it's horrific. Yeah. Whereas that feels more of a, if you fell wrong, the ladder would probably give.
Yeah. So that's probably why that was the way it was.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yeah. So who did we have? We had Miz and R-Truth won, and
it's Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, which is fine. I like those two in terms of their act, and if it gets them on TV a bit more, then we can't complain.
Yeah,
and obviously R-Truth, more so than the Miz, is way over anyway. So it was really. Did you see what happened on the Raw on Monday night? That was brilliant.
Yes, they had the 6-person tag, didn't they?
Yeah, and
with his invisible partner.
Yeah, and he interrupted the celebration ceremony. It just like popped up in the background, holding the belt up. It was like, he's like 50 something, isn't he? R-Truth, you wouldn't believe it.
Well, they were saying like his first WrestleMania was like 25 years ago in 1999 or something. You go, what?
He does not look that old, but it's just I'm pleased he got something because he's been really funny this last sort of year.
Yeah, but this is a thing. You go, well, this is his Twilight Tour, isn't it? Effectively,
essentially, yeah. He's just kind of been at WWE for years, on and off.
Yeah,
and it's just
doing
comedy.
Good, solid work. Yeah,
and it just seems to be connecting. So just let him get on with it.
Yeah, and the 15 knuckle shuffle was seen. It was just chef's kiss.
So next we had a little bit of a come down. No, it's still all right. Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos, Escobar, and Dirty Dom.
Yes. Yeah, that was... Again, I like the whole... This is the future of the luchadors kind of bit. And
Yeah.
this is cool.
I think there was a lot of them out there. Dominic Mysterio is just genius. I really like him as a character. It's nice to see Andrade back where he belongs, doing decent stuff.
Yeah.
I thought the end of the match was a bit weird with the two fat guys that came in. I was like, who are the fat guys? And there was like some random American footballers, wasn't it? From Philadelphia.
Yes, they were obviously Philly footballers, and one of them was Taylor Swift's partner's brother.
Oh, right. Again, no concept, but just like, who are these fat guys in masks? I was like, oh, okay, must be some relevant thing. But it served a purpose. It was the gap after that big match. And
it allows that story to continue and trundle on.
Yeah. Have you seen the cosplay-related controversy that's been kicking off this week, though?
No.
So, Zelina Vega always gets a anime gaming related costume, and whatever she was wearing, the wings and stuff, I don't know, some character from something. I'm sure someone will tell me. But she'd commissioned this cosplay type person to kind of make it, and then there was all sorts of hoo-ha on social media where the person who made it said she hadn't been paid or she hadn't been given the correct promotion, and it was like this. It reminded me of cosplay drama, where basically she was saying something, then Zelina Vega, everyone was piling on her on Twitter, so she had to put out a statement saying no, this, and publish photos of the messages, and it was all this back and forth over this costume, and it was just like, it just reminded me of cosplay drama on steroids, really.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but that's how you ruin it for everyone. If you've got a wrestler who is using people to commission stuff like this, and if they're doing it with honest intent, and you haven't got someone being a dickhead, then they ain't going to get anything. So they'll just get the prop department to do it rather than going out and getting someone else to do it.
They showed some photos of it, and it did look a bit naff. And I thought, I'm an expert, but I just thought, that doesn't look like anything great. But there we go. She paid $1,000 for it, apparently.
Really?
So, move on.
Talking of costumes, well, we're on a costume sidetrack. Was it my imagination, or did Drew McIntyre's outfit get lost?
Yes, yeah.
And they had to make it overnight.
A lady had to sew it. It wasn't his wife. It was someone. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah,
who's someone's wife had basically made it overnight for him, which is just really awesome.
Yeah,
because I saw the tweets.
Don't worry about it.
And everyone thought it was a joke, but no, they genuinely did lose. UPS genuinely did lose his gear, which is kind of weird. I would imagine you, as a wrestler, you take your gear with you. I'm not, but sending it by UPS, I suppose it's getting there faster. Maybe, I don't know. But
and also depending on how you're traveling,
where
is it easy to get it in?
Yeah. I suppose you right baggage and all that. It's probably cheaper to send it via UPS.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right. Next was the Usos, Jay versus Jimmy.
This was the only match where I just didn't care.
Yeah, lots of people said it was the worst match on both days. I have to admit.
Yeah, I agree with those people.
I think two reasons: they're okay wrestlers, but they're not great, and it seems like what they could have done with the feud never really materialized. It kind of got lost in the Bloodline, Rock, Reigns shuffle, and it wasn't as intense as I thought it was going to be. Like brothers really fighting. Like when the Hardys, they did that. Well, actually, that was the same. The Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy match they did, I think it was at WrestleMania years ago, was rubbish as well. But normally when you get a brother versus brother feud, you could probably really big it up, but it just seems to get lost.
It's like the fourth one ever, because you obviously got the Harts, the Hardys, the Usos, and
certainly three.
I'm sure it said this was the fourth. I'm sure it said this was the fourth one.
Brother versus brother. Kane and Undertaker. No.
Hang
on, let me Google it while we're thinking.
Hardys
versus brother
Harts,
WrestleMania.
Usos.
third, according to Forbes.
Really?
Yeah. But
Sure, they said
WrestleMania.
fourth. I would have put money on the fact they said fourth.
Goldust and Cody, ironically.
Yeah.
No, that was a different thing.
Yeah.
No, it says,
Perhaps I imagined it.
third. Yeah. Well, you were flew
Well.
up.
Or
No,
yeah.
I was
still am.
expecting. I was expecting Rikishi to come out maybe at the end and make them hug and shake hands, but that didn't happen. It just kind of ended, and that was it. There was nothing more.
Yeah, it felt like it missed a beat. I don't know what that beat was, but I was basically it started and went, yeah, they're going to win and it's going to be all right. And it was very much a whatever.
Yeah. So, but I didn't have anything invested in it anyway, so it wasn't as if I was that bothered. If I'm honest, it was just kind of like, okay, fair enough, move on.
Yeah.
Which we will
Who was
do.
next?
Jade, Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi versus Damage Control. This was good. I like this. I like Naomi's hat. We need more big, flashing sombrero hats.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like Damage Control as a unit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think
I confess, I looked at the two teams and went, I know who wins this.
Yeah. Jade was never going to lose her debut match at WrestleMania, so it was always going to be that way. But if you just height wise, as good as Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane are, there's tiny in comparison to certainly Bianca and Jade. And it's like, there's no way they're going to win this match.
Yeah, I still get scared by Bianca's hair.
Yeah.
Just every time I see it, I'm going, please, 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 no.
How much of that do you reckon is like real, and how much of it is kind of like beefed up by something like extensions or rope or something? I know she does grow it, and she always has grown it, and it has got longer.
Yeah.
But I wonder how much extra is kind of woven into it.
There's probably something woven into it because again, like the weight of it, the solidness of it, I'm just going, oh yeah, there's got to be something in there. Again, speculation of what's in Bianca Belair's hair.
Because when she was a heel in NXT, she used to whip people with it. And
yeah, she occasionally still does. Yeah, and you go,
and that was back when it was short, like not as long as it is now.
Yeah, but no, every time someone that stands near it, I'm going, please be careful. Please.
They're treating Jade like a superstar. Obviously, she's coming from AEW and getting completely misused there. She's very green and doesn't do much. But if they treat her like Goldberg and just have her steamroller through loads of people, that's a really good way to get her over.
That's the thing. Are they going to protect her, and then at some point, her and Rhea crash into each other?
Well, it makes logical sense. Just have her steamrolled.
Yeah, those two are both huge physically.
Yeah,
and you could have a proper just stand-up punch-up.
And just keep it. You could, even though Goldberg hates it, Asuka beat his undefeated streak before she lost to Charlotte Flair. However, that only years ago that was. Having Jade do a proper, like, advertised, gimmicked Goldberg streak, it'd wind him up even more, which would be hilarious. But have her do the full, have the number of pins per match and all that stuff like Goldberg did, and have her run through loads of people without getting beaten. I think that would work really well. It really, And then, like you say, have a run a clash with Rhea or whoever at WrestleMania next year. That would work.
And that's the thing. If you let her run through everybody, it doesn't then matter because no one gets damaged by it because you just go, she's going to run through everyone on the roster.
No, so it was predictable, but it was a good match. And the height thing was quite obvious.
Yeah.
Next one was surprising. Sami Zayn versus Gunther.
Yes.
I didn't think Gunther was going to lose.
That.
No. I always thought Chad Gable should have been there because there was such a story going on between him and Gunther, but he was woven into the storyline. But actually, when it was happening, Sami Zayn winning made sense, and it was kind of okay, fair enough. They're going to move Gunther somewhere. He's going to go more important along the lines somewhere. I don't know how he's all going to fit in with everybody else, but it made sense, and the crowd was happy. So I kind of let him off a little bit.
Yeah, I think the Sami Zayn underdog story was the classic.
Yeah, because he's kind of been spinning his wheels since WrestleMania last year. They've not done anything with him for a whole year. He's kind of been there, but not really doing anything, which is bizarre because he was like the hottest angle sort of Royal Rumble last year, and now it's just doing nothing. So yeah, again, it was good. And Gunther, 6. So I got.
I think for me, when they were doing the intros, you had Chad Gable saying, "Oh, if you win, I want a shot." I went, "Oh, that's the next angle." And then when Sammy's walking through all the backstage bit, you got Kevin Owens just going, "Right, do this. Come on, get this done." And I went, "Do you know what? This has got the vibe of this guy is winning this." And Gunther was very much the bad guy. And as soon as he'd won the match, but then didn't pin him and was just showboating, I went, "Yeah, this is over now. You know exactly what's going to happen." If he'd have just gone, "Yeah, I've destroyed you, pin, done, fine." But as soon as the showboating happened, I went, no, this is a mistake.
Yes, it's 666 days he held the Intercontinental title for, which is quite iconic in it for a number. I would have probably gone for an extra day just to get it off that number. But yeah, he'll be world title picture somewhere. He wasn't on Raw or SmackDown this week, so obviously they're holding him off for something. I don't really know where he's going to slot in. What with everything else that was going on and who he's going to face, there's no logical place for him to go at the moment.
He probably needs like a couple of weeks out to then come back and go, "Right, I'm doing this." So that kind of short
Cody's
break.
on SmackDown.
Yep.
Rollins is not there. Priest is a heel. They're doing a tournament to see who's going to face Rhodes on SmackDown, and Gunther doesn't really. There's no logical slot for him, but they'll find a place for him, and I've got no doubt about it. It's just there's no obvious way for him to go now. He'll pop up somewhere.
Yeah.
Speaking of Roman, the main event of night 1 was obviously the Bloodline, The Rock, and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth frickin' Rollins.
Yeah, the final boss.
I love
that. Yeah.
I love
the fact that Rock just has a belt because he can.
Yeah, that was just lame. I'm sorry, but that whole thing at the Hall of Fame was just lame. It's like, not only did he induct his own grandma into it, which was so bleeding obvious, but then obviously Muhammad Ali's widow gave him the People's Championship belt. It's like, oh god. But well, he's the boss, literally, so he can do what he wants, can't he? But I didn't really know what to expect with that match. It was long, wasn't it? It was just went on for ages.
But it did.
Rock didn't get injured, which I was kind of a bit worried he was going to get injured.
But he took some bumps as well, which was good.
Yeah, there was some. They didn't hold back. I thought obviously Cody going into night 2 might get protected a bit, but he didn't. He was in there along with Reigns. Yeah, it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Seth just got obliterated, bless him.
Yeah. What did they say in night 2? He's been held together by like duct tape at this point, and duct tape and a prayer or something. And he's like, no wonder he's taking time off, because he must have been battered.
Well, you look at his back and you go, "Oh yeah, you were feeling that, mate."
He just come back from
just stitched up.
Major knee injury, genuine major knee injury. Barely walk, and he did 2 nights back to back, effectively, and the main event in night 2 popped up again. So you can't fault him. He's the Rollins character is interesting. I don't like the character he's portraying when he's not being weird. He's good, but then I quite like the weirdness on night 2. It kind of lent itself quite well, the entrance and stuff, but all the flamboyant weird clothes and the like some kind of weird Joker. It grates on me a little bit, but he was good.
As long as he does good, solid wrestling, you can kind of forgive everything else.
And the way they wove his character into what was going on, it really worked. And I kind of let him off a little bit because, like, okay, fair enough, I can understand why they've done all this, but it was good. And it was the first time they used the night 1 to create a cliffhanger into night 2. They'd never done that before, where you just kind of were left going, well, you knew it was going to happen. It was obvious it was going to happen, but the bloodline, bloodline rules. It was like, ooh, that's good.
If you'd have paid me £1 million to predict who was going to pin who on night 1 for that final match, The Rock was getting a pin come hell or high water.
Yeah.
And Cody was not being pinned. That would have been, I would bet my house on that and just gone, no. Because The Rock is having his moment and Seth just got obliterated, bless him.
It stacked the deck and you kind of go, ooh, yeah, how are they going to get out of this for night 2? So it was good because I genuinely was really excited for the next day because I was like, all right, this is going to be brilliant, because you just didn't know how it was going to play out. Because even then he's sowing the seed of doubt going, are they really going to, is Roman really going to win? And he's like, I don't know. I genuinely can't predict it.
Yeah, and that's good storytelling. It's good wrestling. Where you just go, I don't know how this is going to happen. Because some things, you can go, you can see it kind of mile off. You can predict it. Every event, you go, done. But this one, you went, I don't know.
Mm. So that was night 1. It was good.
Yes. Night 2 then.
First match, again, another unpredictable match, was Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins. Again, I didn't know how this was going to play out. You kind of thought,
based on how obliterated Seth was, I went, if Drew loses to a Seth that can barely stand, then this is a problem.
Because I thought, obviously, CM Punk was on commentary. I'm thinking, well, that was my kind of wild card. Is he going to interfere to stop Drew from winning? That was kind of, and then my prediction in my head was Punk would interfere to stop McIntyre winning, and then Priest would come in and beat Rollins, who was already beaten. But it reversed it in a way. Yeah. And McIntyre is just great. I don't know what suddenly he's just come alive. I liked him, but I really like him with all the trolling and all the social media. And the thing, you see the tweet he did during the match when he got his wife's phone, and he actually tweeted live, and it was bored at work, lol. And then he tweeted after the match, just going, fuck. I just thought it's just absolutely, so that character is just brilliant. The arrogance of it. And the feud he's got with Punk is brilliant. And it's just treaded water, which is brilliant. And they're both of them have just done such a good job of just keeping it alive for when Punk gets back from injury. Yeah, for what? Probably how long do you last? 10 minutes, do you reckon? Before he gets injured again? I hope not. I feel, I don't know. He's unfortunate. Well, he's old. Punk's not a young guy anymore. And it's just unfortunately, it's just genuine different bits, because that's the tricep he tore was the opposite one of the one he tore in AEW. So it's not the same injury. It's just different injuries each time. And it's that whole thing about being rusty and just been thrown in the deep end. So, yeah, we'll see. Yep. But that feud's great. He was great on commentary because he hates both of them. And it's just the way he just kept referring to Rollins as a goof. Goof is an underused insult. Yes. Yeah. No, it was top quality. The bit at the end was genius when McIntyre won it, and there was a nice little bit of Rollins kind of saying, sort of giving him a bit of an applause, and then the bit with Punk, and then that shot when Priest's music hit, and you just saw Punk's face with a big smile on his face. He just thought, oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's perfect. And yeah, Priest won it. Priest's an interesting one because interesting to see where they go with him as a champ, where they go with him, because he's not on the same level as McIntyre. He was getting there, and then he kind of lost his way a little bit, and he's kind of coming up, but he's not. He's an interesting choice for title holder, but they had to do something with it, and it kind of works. Yeah. Yeah, what did he get referred to as? Like a bisexual Undertaker? Bisexual Undertaker, yeah. Yeah, I love it. I went, what? I mean, yeah, genius. Yeah, it's just brilliant. But I like Priest. I think he's good, and he can make it work. And McIntyre and Punk will just run and run, because Punk interfered again, didn't he, on Monday night, and stopped McIntyre winning the Fatal 4-Way match, which I thought was funny. Yeah. So that'll just keep rolling. Yeah.
Right.
And it's nice.
What was match
Sorry, go on.
2?
Match 2 was the street fight thing. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Final Testament. I like the Final Testament. I've always liked Karrion Kross and AOP. It was a nice match, don't go wrong. And Bubba Ray Dudley was the referee, which was just comical. Yeah. It's a shame. I think Karrion Kross and those guys are now on NXT. They've moved them into there, but Triple H is always quite high on them. But people don't really like him. Bobby Lashley's great, but he's kind of got lost again in the shuffle. He should be at the top. He should be a heel for a start. So we'll see how it goes. But it was an all right match. He served a purpose. It was the gap between the title and the stuff that was coming up later, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was again one of those kind of not filler, but it was of all the matches, it was the filler. Yeah.
Yeah. Next one, AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Again, another one that was a bit. I like both the guys. I really like LA Knight. Always liked AJ, but it just felt a bit. Don't know. It's been a weird feud that's kind of got lost, a bit like the Usos in a weird way. It's kind of got lost in the shuffle with everything else that's been going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can be doing good work, but when there's good work being done above you, then you just go, it's lost in the movement, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
LA Knight.
I saw an article saying, I think AJ saying his time is finite now. He's running out of time to do much more.
Yeah, well, you forget how he's been around for years. Obviously, he was in TNA since year dot, and he was before that. He was in other places. I think LA Knight has gone down since he peaked at the Saudi Arabia show, but he's still getting lots of good responses, and I think he's great. And I think, obviously, spoilers or not, he won it's him versus AJ to decide who faces Cody for his first title defense. I think in Backlash in France. So it'll be interesting to see who wins that. Hopefully it'll be LA Knight. That'd be quite cool. Yeah. AJ's he's all right, but as a character against Cody, he's kind of had his time, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of AJ's swan song is, because like I think the article said, the mind is willing, but the body is had enough.
Yeah. Well, he's re-signed, so he's with WWE. He could have always gone somewhere else, but
if you're gonna go out on somewhere, you might as well go out in WWE.
Yeah, or go to AEW and look like an absolute idiot. But we will talk about maybe that bit later on. Next one was Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton for the US title. I thought it was great.
I hate Logan Paul.
He's so good, though, isn't he? He's so
but
good.
That's why I hate him, because I go, I hate you. I physically detest you. The fact you exist.
That makes him so good at wrestling, because he's just playing himself amplified by 100, and he's a dick. But he gets wrestling, so he knows how to make himself a dick even more than he already is. And he's really good at it, as a physical. Yeah, and he respects the business, so he gets what it takes. Yeah, but he's just a dick,
and that's why I hate him even more.
The YouTube crony thing's getting a bit old now. I'm getting a bit bored of it. Yeah, it was funny when it was KSI in the bottle. That was funny whenever it was last year, but now it's just some other dude that I've never heard of, and it's just like, oh, who's that guy? That's getting a bit samey. Yeah. But
obviously the Prime logo on the ring and on the turnbuckle was just entertained me. I went,
so much sponsorship though now. So you've got obviously the Prime thing, and then in the main event they had those god awful white electronic banners for some American insurance company. Yeah, it's like you can tell Vince isn't there just because of all that stuff that's happening.
Yeah. And I think the fact the hydration station, as they called it, got just obliterated in every other match. I'm going, why is it even here? Why? It's there to get people thrown into it.
But it's just...
I love it.
But Logan, Logan. I was pleased Logan Paul won because he just kept losing when he started, but now he seems to be winning quite a few, and he seems to be full time now as well, doesn't he? He's there all the time, whereas before it was every kind of other pay per view like Roman, but now he's there all the time. So that's his job, I guess.
And like I said, I think he's such a good heel. I hate him for it. And it is a genuine physical detesting. Yeah, you're good at this and you respect it and you're actually good and I don't like you because of it.
Because when they brought him in, I think he wanted to be a face, but it just wasn't working. And people were booing him the moment he appeared on the screen. And it's like, he's a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, mate, you're never going to be a face. And if you are, I'll have to stop watching wrestling for that week.
Because people just hate you and it's just obvious. Yeah. So
it's just,
I was surprised he won. I thought maybe Kevin Owens or Randy Orton, because Randy Orton's come back. Well, Randy Orton doesn't need it. Kevin Owens probably does more than he does. But the way he won it was well done. And it was kind of like chicken shit heel kind of way of doing things.
Yeah, and I think, again, you've got two guys who have been around for a while and they've both held titles multiple times. And he can just play that angle some more.
Yeah. And Logan Paul can easily get picked off by somebody else lower down the card. LA Knight versus Logan Paul would be great just for them on those two on the mic because they'd just be spot on.
No.
Right. Penultimate match, Bayley versus Io Sky.
I love Bayley.
She's great, isn't she? First ever singles match, they said, for Bayley at WrestleMania. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, she's great. It was obvious she was going to win. And it was a really good match because Io Sky and Bayley can go anyway. And it was nice.
Yeah.
I thought Bayley was going to come out to her original music. I was waiting for the key change and to have the inflatable waving men come up again. Come on. And they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They didn't do it. And I was like, But I suppose that's an old gimmick. But I thought maybe they'd do it as a one-off, but they didn't.
The problem is, like, the hugger gimmick didn't really transcend from NXT to main event, did it?
Yeah. But it was, I just thought, it's an opportunity. Just giant inflatable men. But
yeah.
No. Oh, good Lord. Yes. No, it's a good match. And Bayley's got hundreds of people she can face now, and whether she's going to face Damage Control again, because there's loads of them she can have a go with. Yeah. So there's lots of opportunities as face Bayley. I think as well, I felt sorry for them because Bayley won the Women's Royal Rumble, but didn't really get the same billing as Rhea and Becky. In fact, I don't think she was actually on the main poster, which is like, I feel a bit sorry for her because it's like, surely because she's won the Rumble, she needs to be at least on the same level. But there you go.
Yeah. While we're on the women's division, a stupid question for you. Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
Where is she? Is she still around?
No, she damaged there's some random match with Asuka on SmackDown and she tore some crazy amount of ligaments in her knee. There's a whole list of what she like basically 360 degrees around her knee, just completely destroyed it. Yeah. So she's going to be out, what they say, 9 months from, when was it? It must have been autumn time. So she's going to be out a while.
Fair. So I thought to myself, where is Flair?
Yeah, because you kind of think, where would she have fitted into all this kind of thing? Who would she have faced? How would she go? There's another one that, although Rhea's beaten her last year, but she could face Jade. That would be a good kind of square off. Jade versus Charlotte on the way to something else. But I'm sure she'll be back at some point.
Yeah.
She wasn't limping, or she didn't have a knee brace on for the Hall of Fame, did she? So if you saw her in that,
no.
Anyway, back to that.
Cool.
And the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Yes, and it was again another. Yes. Actually, looking at this, felt longer, but it was 10 minutes shorter than the previous main event, previous night. It felt longer.
I think it's a one-on-one. Yeah. Well, I think it's a one-on-one match. There's more happening. Whereas
was
if
more
you've got multiple
intense.
people, you just get lost in the switching around. Yeah, it was so good.
It was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was so well paced, is probably the right way of doing it, where the tension was building and it wasn't rushed, and you just got the feeling that how is this going to end? And when the last 10 minutes and the end kicked into fifth gear, you think, oh, how much more is going to happen in this small amount of time? It was bonkers.
well, that's the thing. You had the odd weapon here and there, but it kept it a standard good one-on-one match, because you could have literally had Roman came out and go, right, here's the entire bloodline around the ring, and Cody, mate, you're done in 5 minutes because there's no way.
I was surprised, but then not surprised that he didn't come out with Solo and at least Jimmy to start with.
Yeah.
Or The Rock didn't come out. But I think had they been there, it would have distracted from the match, because you'd know, because they were on the ring, sat around the ring, you were waiting for them to interfere. But with them not being there, you kind of forgot. You were kind of sucked into the match. And then it was like, oh yeah, I forgot that they could interfere.
Yeah, because it's basically no DQ for anyone. You go, oh, sweet. Fantastic.
Yeah. That was the thing that I thought, obviously, it did happen, is everyone said, oh, Bloodline rules. It's no DQ. But that's no DQ for Cody as well. It's not just Bloodline. And that was the thing that I was kind of expecting, and they delivered on, is like, it's not just going to be one-way street, no DQ. And well, obviously, it did deliver. That last 10 minutes was just bonkers.
Oh, it's mental, absolutely mental. But no, the whole build up to it, you go, oh yeah, it could have ended so many times, because you're going, oh yeah, finisher after like high impact moves. You're going, oh, this could be done. Yeah. And then like Cody's looking like he's going to get the win, and suddenly like then one of the Usos appears, and then Solo appears, and you go, oh, for God's sake, this guy's never going to get there. There's
so many, because AEW gets criticised rightly. They don't do storytelling. They just do 5-star matches, dream matches. But that whole match in itself had a story to it. Yeah. But the elements within it also had storylines that dated back 10 years, 20 years. Yeah. And it all made sense. And everything they did had a meaning to it. There wasn't anything there that was just thrown in because they thought it looked cool. Every little bit was connecting. And even now, with what's happened this week, bits are now connecting to the future. And it's all been plotted out. And you just think, that's how you do it. That's how you do wrestling. It's this whole thing about a concept of a storyline that you get invested in. Because you just think, well, now what's going to happen?
You want a long-term storyline. You don't want a 5-minute flash. You want to go, right, I'm going to tell this story for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
Or longer. Where you just go, here's a callback to 10 years ago, guys.
The symbolism about some of the things and the way they did it. It's like, because I didn't pick up all the references, and I was reading about it. Oh, well, actually, some of the things and the way they did it. It's just like, this is like 10 years in the making, and it's like really, really well done. So should we talk about the last 10 minutes was probably the best bit of it.
Well, I before we go on the last 10 minutes, I know with the entrance, a lot of people compared Cody's entrance to Triple H's like King of Kings entrance with the whole helm.
Random concept. That was made by the same people that make Bray Wyatt's masks, and I think that's why he did it, because it was kind of the nod there. So it was a bit of a weird one when he came up. Obviously, Brandy was there, which is like, Brandy was there as well. So it was the full house of stuff. But I think that was possibly why he did it, was the mask. Because it was just a nod to Bray Wyatt, which was really nice as well.
Yeah. So, last 10 minutes.
Yeah, so because I had it in the back of my mind going into that they're going to do something for Cody, that Cody's not going to come alone, if that makes sense. And then I forgot because I was so invested in it. So when obviously, because it came out in order, didn't they? Jimmy came out first. Yeah. And then Jay's music hit, and you thought, and that kind of dawned on me how they're going to do it. So it's not going to be like a clusterfuck where they just have everybody in the ring at the same time. It's going to be staged and staggered. Yeah. So the impact of what they're doing makes more impact. So those two kind of went away and that was it.
Yeah.
And well, the fact is, they took that dive off the stage. That was pretty.
Yeah,
that was hard.
Yeah.
And it was fast. It wasn't like I'm just going to fall off the edge of the stage here. They went for it and just leaped off the stage. So it took them out, which was nice. And then you had the mirroring of last year with Solo, and Cody just kept kicking out, and it was just like, and there's a really nice bit. Have you seen the results? What happened last night at SmackDown?
No.
Right. Do you want the spoilers? Because it ties into all that.
Yeah. Spoiler
So obviously
me.
you had the bit. This is obviously WrestleMania. So you had Solo coming in, and then he started directing traffic, didn't he? He was telling the beautiful bit, telling Roman, get up, and Roman's going, I know. And there's that whole bit there. Well, on SmackDown, Heyman, Solo, and Jimmy kind of turn up and don't get their locker room. So the locker room's been taken over by Cody. And it's kind of this, and the whole story there is consequences of failure. So you think, well, where's this playing out? So they're in the ring a bit later on, and Heyman's kind of talking about how, introducing the fact that we failed, and yes, the tribal chief will return, blah, blah, blah. And then Solo interrupts him and sort of takes the mic and talks about consequences of failure, and basically turns to Jimmy and says, I love you, my brother, and hugs him. Because the whole concept of Roman had earmarked Solo to take over from him, that was months ago. I can't remember when that was. That was before Christmas, I think. And then out of the crowd comes Tama Tonga, who used to wrestle for New Japan, and he's Haku's son. So I kind of knew he'd signed. And basically he takes out Jimmy, and then Solo takes out Jimmy to the point where they kind of put his neck in a chair and just crush it. And all the point, Heyman's just there in the background, as amazing as Heyman is, just looking really shocked. And at the end, he goes to phone Roman Reigns, and Solo takes the phone off him and stamps on it, and they just walk out. And there's a little bit later on in the episode where Heyman comes out of the doctor's office, and the interviewer's asking him, how is he? And he's looking really shocked. And then Tama Tonga comes up and says, by order of the tribal chief. So you don't really know, is Solo now in charge? Has he taken power, or is Solo taking orders from The Rock or somebody else? And these two now got into business for themselves. And rumor has it that Jacob Fatu, who's another cousin who is just awesome, I've seen him loads of times, has also signed. So is this as if Solo's now taken over and he's bringing his own guys in, or has The Rock told Solo, you're now doing this? So the Solo character's just been elevated, the callbacks, because he's bossing Roman around in the ring, telling him to get it sorted, and you just think, if they're going to go down that route, which they did, Solo's now kind of stepped up and gone, right, he's lost, I'm now taking over. Anyway, so there we are this week. So more, but yeah, that was brilliant. And then the shot, and the because they got rid of Kevin Dunn, who was the production, one of Vince's cronies for years. And the production's been so much better. And that shot where you just saw Cena's video come up, and the way that it was shot, like over Solo's shoulder in a way, it was just like really, really well done. Yeah. And when that happened, I was like, oh, right, they're going to do this and do it in that order. And it was just, again, Cena coming down, that whole conversation, because that was Solo taking Cena out in Saudi Arabia. So the story made sense. Yeah.
And you just go, oh, brilliant. And Cena just annihilates Solo. And you go, sweet, that's those two done.
Yeah.
And then obviously you go back to the singles element. So Cody and Roman are still going at it. And then the Rock's music hits, and you go, oh, God.
And the shot of Cena's face, like turning, go, uh-oh. Because how many years has it been? 10 years since they main evented WrestleMania. And the Rock's got bigger and Cena's got smaller. That's the takeaway that I took from that. But that was done really well. And the Rock just effing and jeffing all the way down, and they're bleeping him out, and it was brilliant. Fucking this, fucking that, and they're bleeping him out, and it was just that was. And
that's the thing, that it feels right. For he literally walks in and goes, right, you've come here, and you go, oh, bloody hell. And that's not the WWE expect.
Yeah, that
And
was
he's going, oh, this has a realness to
because
it.
he was swearing in the main event the previous night, and they didn't bleep all that out. They
Yeah.
missed some of it, so
Yeah.
it was proper going for it. So that was, again, shot really well. The timing of it was really well, and the pacing between each little nugget was just They were layering it up, thinking this can't get any better.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got better. So obviously, as The Rock dispatched Cena, and then the biggest surprise happened. Well, obviously the Undertaker just popped up.
Yeah, the gong. Well, that gong hit. My body my spirit left my body for a moment and went, "Oh God, he's back."
There's a lot of rumors, and I was expecting it, and they didn't do it. That Austin was going to be the final.
Stone Cold. Yeah,
but from some people speculated he didn't want to work with The Rock. Other people say they couldn't make it work financially. Other people say he's happy with just doing that bit couple of years ago and he doesn't want to do it again. So obviously it would make more sense from a storyline point of view had it been Austin, but the Undertaker was
because they had the trailer in the background, one of the fight, didn't they, where Rock was tearing Cody apart. You had like Cena and Austin on the trailer,
and Triple H had tweeted something out at 16 minutes past 3 on that day or something. So that I would like to think they tried to get him. And you could imagine the reaction if they had got him. But equally, the reaction was they'd already got people, and the Undertaker wasn't expected. And you could argue he's always been referred to as the conscience of the WWE. So it was quite nice for him to pop up, chokeslam The Rock, and then just disappear. Although if you see some videos online of how he ran into the ring and how they ran him out of the ring, it's quite funny. But that was good. I was disappointed it wasn't Austin for a little sec, for about a heartbeat, but the fact they did the Undertaker, I was like, that was all right.
Yeah, Undertaker is just he's phenomenal. He's the Undertaker. And admittedly, the fact he was in casual gear rather than like the gear, but I went, it's fine, I can allow that.
We've done it in the wrong order. We forgot about Rollins because Rollins came in before him, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Sorry, we got it in the wrong order.
Actually, that needs talking about in its own right, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I didn't realise the significance of why until right at the end, because obviously Rollins and the Shield music hit, and there was a very weirdly part of me that thought they're not doing it. They're not bringing Ambrose in some weird crossover. I knew that it was impossible that it could happen.
Yeah,
but part of me thought no, they wouldn't. They can't do it. They wouldn't have done it. There's no way possible. But then obviously Rollins coming in and getting taken out didn't make sense. But then it made sense for the final bit of why he had to be in the ring at the point he had to be in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And again, when you've got that shot of Roman with the chair and looking at Cody, and then Seth just laying and just bang, and I went, oh yeah, there we go.
2014.
How many years has that been?
Yeah, and the symbolism where Rollins fell on the bottom rope is exactly how Reigns fell on the bottom rope. And it was the whole concept that he could have won the match, but he chose, and Heyman mentioned it last night on SmackDown, that Reigns could have won the match, but chose to get revenge, and ultimately that was his downfall. So that was beautifully written.
Like when Rollins was sort of saying, like the whole thing of "I will be your shield," and you go, "Yes, you were," because Roman's hatred of you just bang done.
Someone pointed out that whole promo where Rollins took credit and responsibility for creating Roman Reigns as a tribal chief in the first place. I'm the one that makes him not trust anybody. It was my fault. So that whole symbolism of that storyline just all came to a crescendo, and it's like, oh, they've done that really, really well. Because I didn't really get the Shield thing to start. I thought, well, that felt like it was why, and then watching it back and reading some of the conversations online, I was like, oh, of course, that now makes more sense.
Yeah, the whole thing, and I think like WWE storytelling and like the video packages they do, they're just so good.
And they did something weird. They did something weird with the camera. You know, when it was any of the title matches, all of them, when they were doing the announcing at the start, where they kind of went into this weird 3D effect. Do you notice it? So Samantha Irving would be in the ring, which is unheard of, and the camera would cut to a very close-up of her, and then the two competitors, and it was shot in a weird way where it was like you got a camera in your house where it went the bokeh behind it blurred out the audience and focused just on them, and it was done in such a way I was like, this is new. They've not done this ever, where they've got that close-up kind of weird, and the colours were kind of just slightly different as well. So there's all sorts of little nuances that they've new.
One thing I forgot to mention, Steph was back.
Oh, of course, and she even walked down night 2, and everyone's like, shit.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing there?
Well, it was linking it back to the end of the thing. It was the post Vince WrestleMania, and they were really hammering it home, weren't they? Well, they don't call him Triple H anymore, do they? They call him Paul Levesque era, and it felt right because in some ways I was disappointed last year that Cody didn't win, but it meant more him winning now. It all seemed to... It's weird. The stars kind of aligned. Vince was gone. New era, new champion.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gone. And everything was different, and it was all different, and it kind of worked. So I think it's, in some ways, it was a groundbreaking WrestleMania on so many levels.
Yeah. I think the pay-per-views this year will be a real testament to how it's going.
Yes. It'll be interesting to see what other changes they start making as they roll it forward and they just keep moving on. There seems to be a lot more media kind of chatter, and obviously they've started doing this post event press conferences, which AEW does, but if you were watching them, except for the CM Punk one when he was there and he just went off on one, they're all just naff. These are proper press conferences where they genuinely talk real stuff. And they did the press before WrestleMania. That was really good, and it just seems to be a hell of a lot more slick and more professional now.
Yeah, it just feels like a really good product now, and hopefully they just build on it. And like as long as the storytelling is solid, the wrestling ain't got to worry about because these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's just build it and build it and build it.
Yeah, I think we kind of digressed from the main event, but I thought the celebration at the end was really nice, if a bit cheesy. Yeah. I thought the genuine emotion that Samantha Irvin had when she announced the win was really nice because I didn't realise she's great. And she purposely doesn't want to know who's going to win any of the matches she announces for. So when someone wins, she's really surprised. And she's got... They have her on the social media, and quite often you watch the video. They have videos of her just reacting to what's going on. And it's brilliant. And it's really nice to see because it's like she's like a fan. She's just sat there kind of getting really excited with everybody else. So that was good. I know all the kind of celebration in the ring with everybody was nice, and he had his family, Cody's family there, and everything like that was good. So it was a nice ending. Yeah, sent everyone home happy.
Long may it continue in that vein.
Yes. So the storylines, like I said, with the Bloodline rolls on, and it's not going away. Was
also quite interesting. I saw a little tweet with a little slide saying the length of each champion's reign post WrestleMania. It was literally like Logan Paul 150 days or something, and there's literally 3 days, 4 days, 4 days, 3 days, like that kind of.
Yeah,
everything's changed. Yeah,
except for Rhea as well. Everything else has now shifted. So
yeah. I think they stuck it on like the men's ones and didn't mention the women's section. But
fair enough. Yeah,
because I think the whole male side is completely reset.
Yes, yeah. So it's all reshuffling now, and obviously they're bringing in some new people, and that's going to reshuffle. The first night on Raw, they've obviously hinted at some promotions of NXT. Braun Breaker is going to be massive this year.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. So I just realised they had what's his called? Dragunov. Can't remember his first name. Either Dragunov, the NXT champion. He had some really good matches with Gunther in NXT before Gunther slimmed down. So that era of Gunther. So those two together would be spot on. So that maybe they might start doing.
Was that the Walter era?
Yeah, well, he was before his name changed. Yeah, Walter, of course. Yeah. His name changed. So yeah, they're starting to mix in some new familiar faces as well as some new stuff. And long may these changes continue because it's been really good.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. These are all positive changes. It's not 5-minute stories. It's proper, detailed storytelling with a reason behind it. Not, I like you, I'm going to make you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I've changed my mind at the 11th
hour.
I
don't like
no,
you.
You're not going to win anymore.
You're not going to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've decided Brock Lesnar's going to win.
Oh, they mentioned him, didn't they? They asked Triple H a direct question: is Brock Lesnar still employed? And he said, "Yeah." He's not only did Paul Heyman mention him at the Hall of Fame, but Triple H said, "No, he's employed, still with us. He's just being at home, being Brock, and when we have an opportunity for him, he'll be back." So,
yeah,
it is what it is, I suppose. Until such a time as all that comes to court, they've moved him away for the time being, let the dust settle a bit, and then they'll bring him back, won't they? They don't need him, but
well, let's face it, with Brock, you can use him as and when you need him, like you said. And actually, if it all goes pear shaped, he just sits at home until the end of time.
Yeah,
and if it goes well, he can come back and do his 3 moves.
Yeah. Well, originally it was going to be him versus Gunther at WrestleMania, but obviously we didn't get that, that was annoying because that would have been really good. But hey,
yeah, that would have just been violent.
Bigger, more important things, as we know.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Anyway, won't go down there. So, final thoughts about WrestleMania.
Loved it. Apart from like the Uso match, I just loved it. It was really good, and I was able to watch both nights back to back and didn't feel bored. Because a lot of the time with older pay-per-views, you'd be going, "Oh, I just don't care." But every match I went, "Oh, I'm into this. I'm enjoying it." Yeah, it was just solid.
Yeah, I agree with that. Every match was either enjoyable or there's someone I wanted to see in it. So I don't care if it's a boring match. I quite like these people, except for the Uso match. I think we agreement on that. And the main event was done just perfectly in the way they did it.
Yeah, and it wasn't obvious who was going to win each time. Because again, you look at some old matches and go, "Yeah, that person wins. I don't care."
Yeah, gone are the days where you can sit there and go, "Yeah, that person's going to win every time." It's very much, what is going to happen with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's like, what's going to happen with Roman and The Rock when The Rock comes back? And when's Roman going to give out? What's going to happen with all that? That's all still up in the air. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Wow.
There we go.
That was it. That was WrestleMania.
Dude.
Brother.
I was at one point, just the thought, I wonder if Hulk Hogan's going to run out in that final thing. Oh my God. The old man Hogan comes out.
Yeah, leg drop, bang.
Someone has to kind of scoop him out the ring in a forklift because he's kind of broken his spine. No, I thought maybe they're going to do it. They're going to bring out the Hulkster for one last run. He walks with a walking stick now, doesn't he? There's those videos of him with a big walking stick thing, which is not surprising because he's an old man.
Yeah. He used to come on like the back of the stage, just rips the shirt open and just distracts everyone. Leathery abs.
Leathery old man abs. I think we need to end on that, on the leathery abs.
Yeah. Yeah. On that note, next time, well, we've got a month before Doctor Who. We might squeeze one more in. Who knows?
Yeah. Just a lottery of what we're going to talk about. I'm sure we'll think of something.
Yeah. We'll spin the wheel. We'll check the monkey ball kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes. See what the 8 ball of doom tells us we have to do.
Yes, indeed. Well, in that case, it's goodbye from me.
That's goodbye from me. Doom.